Hello, TOEFL students! You have now learned all 13 skills for the reading part of the TOEFL test. Today, we're going to review all of the reading skills. Here are the skills, the questions, and the strategies. You should try to remember which strategies match which questions, so that on the test you are able to identify a question and know what skill it is, and more importantly, to know what strategies you need to follow to find the correct answer. So look at these skills and strategies. Pause this video if you need time to read through the 13 skills and their strategies. The first thing you should do is read the question and identify which skill it is so that you know what strategies to follow. Number 1. The paragraph preceding this passage most probably discusses. Okay, this is a Skill 7 question, so we need to follow the strategies for Skill 7. Read the first sentence of the passage for a preceding question. Then look for an answer that is mentioned in the sentence but not discussed in the passage. Another noteworthy trend in 20th century music in the United States was the use of folk and popular music as a base for more serious compositions. Now let's look at the answers. A. 19th century music. No, we are talking about 20th century music. C. The works of Aaron Copland. No, that is not in the first sentence. D. The history of folk and popular music. No, it talks about these two genres, but the first sentence does not talk about the history, and it focuses on 20th century music in the United States. So B, one development, that's another way to say a noteworthy trend in music in the last century. The 20th century is in the last century. So B is our answer. Number 2. Which of the following best describes the main idea of the passage? This is a Skill 1 question, so we need to follow the strategies for Skill 1. Read the first sentence of each paragraph. Look for key words and synonyms, and then eliminate answers which only refer to part of the passage. Remember to look for general ideas and not specific details. So for this question, we're once again going to look at the first sentence that we just read. Now let's look at the answers. B and C are not in the first sentence at all. D focuses on traditional music, but our first sentence is not focused on traditional music. It's focused on how traditional music was used as a base for serious compositions in 20th century music. So A, traditional music flavored some American musical compositions in the 20th century. This is the best answer because it fits with the first sentence. Number 3. It can be inferred from this passage that the author is not sure. Okay, this is a Skill 6 question. And we know now that Skill 6 questions are very hard. This is one of the hardest skills, so it will take a little more time because the answer is not obvious in the passage. We have to infer, which means that we have to make a guess based on what is written in the passage. So let's look at the strategies for Skill 6. Identify key words in the question and then skim the passage quickly for key words and synonyms. When you have identified the correct part of the passage, read carefully. Then check each answer to see if it is a valid conclusion based on the information given. So the key words in this question are the author is not sure. So in the passage, we see might be. Might be is a modal that shows uncertainty. So that is a synonym for not sure. So let's read this sentence. The motivation for these borrowings from traditional music might be a desire on the part of a composer to return to simpler forms to enhance patriotic feelings or to establish an immediate rapport with an audience. Okay, so the question is, it can be inferred from the passage that the author is not sure. Now let's check each answer. That the author is not sure, A, when Ives wrote his compositions? No, that is not in this sentence at all. B, the author is not sure that Ives and Copland actually borrowed from traditional music? No, that is certain, and it's in the first sentence. It's not over here by the words might be. C, the author is not sure why certain composers borrowed from folk and popular music. Look, in our sentence, it says the motivation for these borrowings might be. Motivation matches why. And then it talks about borrowing from music. So C is the best answer. D is also not in this sentence, so it could not be the answer. Number 6. Which of the following is not listed in the passage as a source for Ives' compositions? Okay, this is a Skill 4 question, and these are the strategies for skill 4? Remember, 3 of the answers are stated, mentioned, discussed, or true. Find those answers that are in the passage, following the strategies for skill 3, and then choose the answer that is not in the passage. Okay, so the question is asking about Ives and sources. The answers are different genres. So let's look in the passage for these key words. Here, at the end, we see some of these. So let's read. Ives employed the whole gambit of patriotic songs, hymns, jazz, and popular songs in his compositions. Now we need to look and find the 3 answers that are in the passage. A. National music. Look, here we have patriotic songs. National and patriotic are synonyms. Music and songs are also synonyms. So A is in the passage and it is not our answer. B, religious music. Here we have hymns. Hymns are religious music. So B is not our answer. C, jazz. Yes, that's right here. So C is not our answer. D, American novels. That is not in this sentence, and it is the only one that is not in the passage, so our answer is D. Number 8. Click on the sentence in the passage that gives reasons composers might use traditional melodies in their compositions. This is a Skill 12 question, so we need to use the strategies for Skill 12. Read the question carefully. What exactly does the question ask you to find? Skim the passage for key words related to the question. Look for a restatement of the question. So here, our keywords are might use traditional melodies. Here, we see traditional music. Music and melodies are synonyms. Might be and might use. Very close. Let's look. The motivations for these borrowings from traditional music might be. Yes, this is our sentence. This is the answer. Line 3. Number 11. The passage would most probably be assigned reading in which of the following courses? This is a Skill 13 question, and it is a course question. So, we need to think about the main idea of the passage. What subject is it related to? To find the main idea, we look at the first sentence. Let's read it again. Another noteworthy trend in 20th century music in the United States was the use of folk and popular music as a base for more serious compositions. Okay, so now let's look at the answers. A, American history. It is talking about the past, but the focus is not on history. It's on music. B, the history of jazz. That's too specific. The main idea is not about only jazz music. Modern American music. Yes, this works. It says the United States. It says 20th century music. That is our main idea. So this is the best answer. Your assignment for today will have questions from all 13 skills. It is important that you first read the question and identify which skill it is so that you know what strategies you need to use to find the correct answer. As always, if you have any questions or you need help, send me a message and I will help you. Good luck!